We're down on the last section of Module 16 now. We're talking in this module about consolidating data. There's a feature in Excel called Consolidation, and what it allows you to do is go ahead and consolidate numbers from multiple files into a dependent file. You could actually just write formulas to get those numbers, but we're going to take this even further. When you consolidate, you'll be able to see where the numbers came from instead of just seeing one total, and that's the beauty of working with consolidation. Let's go ahead and consolidate some data over in Excel. One of the things you'll want to do before you get started is make sure you have all of the files open that you're going to be working between. That means you want all of the source files open and you want your dependent file open. In this case, I've opened a file called Consolidation, and what I'd like to do is go ahead and select the range C5 through C14, and I'm going to have Excel go to the files called Jane, Hanover, Maunder that we've been working with and consolidate all the quantities into this file so that we can see the totals. One thing you want to make sure of is that all your files are set up exactly alike. If you notice, this consolidation file is set up exactly like the Jane, Hanover, and Maunder files we've been working with. I'll switch over to one of these. I'll just pick Maunder, and you can see that it looks the exact same. Column C is where the quantities are. It's the range C5 through C14. I'm going to switch back to consolidation, and here's how you're going to start this. You're going to the Data tab, and you'll notice there's a grouping called Data Tools, and you want Consolidate right above that. The first thing it asks is which function would we like to use. We are going to be adding, so we'll leave the function sum, but just notice from the drop down the other functions that I could use. The next thing I'm going to do is click where it says Reference, and then in no particular order I'm going to flip to each file and select the same range. I'm going to go ahead and start with Jane. I'll select the range C5 through 14, and now you'll notice that it's got the name of the file here, the name of the sheet, and also the absolute value of the range C5 through C14. I'm going to hit Add so that it puts it in this bottom part of the window here. Now I'm going to do the next one, which is Maunder. I'll do the exact same thing. I'll drag through that same range. I'll hit Add, and then one more. I'll flip over to the Hanover file, select the same range, and add that one. Now that all three of the references are right here, I'm going to click OK. And if I flip back now to the consolidation file, you'll see right here that it has consolidated all of the quantities, so now I know the total quantities, which has also changed my sales and my commissions over here. You're probably wondering a couple things. First of all, couldn't I just write a formula like we did in section 1 that would add up those numbers? Yes, you could, but you're going to see in a minute that consolidation is going to give you some additional options. The other question is, how do I know how much of this is Jane's and how much is Maunder's and how much is Hanover's? I can't tell that right now. I just know the total. Well, let me show you another little thing that you can do in that consolidation window. I'm going back to the Data tab, Consolidate. Do you see this checkbox, Create Links to Source Data? This is going to be the key to everything working out really cool here. I'm going to hit OK. And now what I want you to notice is your outline is on over the left over here. Let's take C8 where it says 24. If I hit the plus sign to the left of row 8, now I can see each number that made up that 24. The other thing is, notice when I'm clicked on one of these, I can see which file that came from. Maunder has 2 of these. Looks like Jane has 12 of these, and 10 of them belong to Hanover. That way you can see the breakdown, and you can see that for each of these. I can hit the minus sign to collapse that and fold it back up. And let's just say I went to row 28 and I did the same thing here. I'd be able to see that 48 of these came from Jane, and Maunder had 2 of these, and the last 7 belonged to Hanover. And that's what consolidation allows you to do. In addition to just coming up with an answer, you can see all the numbers that make up those quantities. That's pretty much going to wrap up Module 16. We've been talking about linking files here. Why don't we go ahead now and change focus and jump over into Module 17, where we're going to talk a little bit more about writing formulas. We'll look at some advanced formula creation.